grit, fortitude, consistency, effort, all encompassing all the time, every day. Who are you responsible for? Who is depending on you? Who trusts that you will be capable and available and there if life goes sideways, if anything goes sideways, if you're called upon and needed in any kind of a crisis situation? And those crisis situations can be a variety of things. It can be physical trauma, emotional trauma, disaster, anything could happen. Life is complicated and messy and crazy. Who is depending on you? Who do you protect? Guys, ladies, fathers, moms. Who is depending on you? Are you capable to step up and go to action and be there for the ones who love you the most, who depend on you? Are you willing to completely throw in the towel in your later years because the culture tells you it's just the normal part of aging, that you're supposed to decline? Well, that's bullshit. You don't accept that narrative, because the people pushing that narrative are profiting off of your downfall. This culture, government, three-letter agencies, whomever, they don't want strong, capable individuals. They want compliance. They want you to be subservient to them. And there's a percentage of the population that rejects that. And there's another percentage of the population that wants to reject that, but fears taking the steps to be that strong, capable, powerful person. They accept mediocrity. They accept decline. I won't freaking do it. I work with so many people now that I'm 57 years old. I feel 30, but I'm 57 years old, 3 years shy of 60. You know how weird that sounds to me? I remember when 60, I used to think that was freaking old. I used to think that that was like senior citizen, like Walker shit, I completely reject that. And not only do I reject that, of the few things that I'm proud of in this life is the fact that I have rejected it and I have overcome that. And now at my age, I work with so many people in their 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s. I have 2 clients in their 80s who also reject that. And that's why I've made a powerful shift into the bulk of what I do as a very experienced coach and trainer. And it gives me great value, and it gives me great pride in reaching out to those people who have maybe thrown in the towel, but have a little bit of life left in them, and they're willing to wring out the remainder of their years like a wet rag and suck every bit out of it. They're willing to work. They're willing to make sacrifices. They're willing to accept a little bit of pain and a little bit of suffering in order to achieve something greater. Recently, I was in Illinois, Southern Illinois, not crazy Illinois. No offense to you living in the Chicago area. Beautiful town, great to visit. Wouldn't want to live there. And I'm sitting there. We were in Illinois visiting my daughter, my oldest daughter. And I'm very proud to say I have recently become a grandfather, or what I like to call Papa. I'm not going to be grandpa, I'm Papa, for the second time. And my newest grandson is now among us in the world, happy and healthy little baby boy. And my wife and daughter and I took the opportunity to go visit my daughter in Illinois. It was about a 9-hour drive. And I got to spend time with my grandson, which was absolutely amazing. And not just spending time with my grandson, but just spending time doing simple things with my immediate family, or a portion of them. My beautiful wife, my 2 amazing daughters, my son-in-law, and now my little grandson, all of a couple of weeks old. And there was a particular afternoon, I think, where I'm sitting there surrounded by my family, a large portion of the people that I care about more than anything on this earth. And it just occurred to me, it didn't just occur to me, it hit me like a ton of bricks. These people depend on me. I'm 57 years old. God willing, I have many more grandchildren in my future. My wife, God bless her, works from home. And it's not corporate work, it's real work. Taking care of a home, homeschooling a daughter, helping to an outrageous degree with my other grandson. Takes him to school, sometimes picks him up from school. We have him over all the time. She's there for him. I have 4 kids, all adults now, but they still need me as much as I need them. And it occurred to me when I'm sitting there surrounded by these people and my brand new infant, newborn grandson, that I need to be the strongest, most capable human being that I could possibly be. Because at the end of the day, I'm the guy. I'm the guy. If shit hits the fan, and that encompasses anything, any hardships in life, any challenges in life, I'm the guy. I'm going to step up and be the guy because that's my role. That's my responsibility. And I realized in that moment that the remaining years of my life need to be solely dedicated on being the absolute best version of myself that I can possibly be. We live in an insane chapter of this existence in this world. No one pulling the strings can be trusted. At any moment, something completely devastating could happen to this country. We learned a lot in 2020, which we now know was not about what they said it was. It was about compliance and control, and a test to see just what they could get away with for their own gain and their own power. And they'll do anything to us little people to accomplish that. So what can we do? Well, we can't do much about changing the global landscape, obviously. But we can do so much within our own circle of influence, our families, our friends, our communities. And it's going to take strong, capable people who are willing to rise to any occasion and do the hard shit that so many are not only unwilling, but incapable of doing. That's why I created Iron 40. Something that I had been talking about to my wife and closest friends and closest clients that I've been wanting to do, but a little scared to pull the trigger, a little scared to put all my chips in on that. And then in that moment, sitting there with my family, it hit me. This is my future. This is my direction. This is my cause. So if you're watching this, and you don't have to be over 40, but someday you will be. So you need to start now. But if you are over 40, over 50, over 60, and you think your best years are behind you, you couldn't be more wrong. It also dawned on me, and I never really had, which is weird, that my greatest physical accomplishments and really accomplishments within my own character happened over the age of 40. Though I'd been coaching and in the industry since I was in my mid-20s, I competed in my first bodybuilding competition at 46 years old. At that time, I thought that was old. Recently, at 57, I stepped on stage again and won the 50 plus in the NPC and placed second against guys half my age. And I'm proud of that. But far more proud I am of that is the work that I put in to achieve that, because I knew the formula for that success would be outwork everyone else. Grit, fortitude, consistency, effort, all encompassing all the time, every day. Now, I'm not going to tell you that I was perfect every day, and I'm not going to tell you I'm perfect now, but when driven toward a task and a goal, I am proud that I am able to lock in and push myself to the brink in order to achieve the desired outcome. And now that desired outcome is, as I've said and alluded to, being the best physical specimen that I could possibly be, in the best level of health and conditioning that I can be, because I'm the guy. And if you're watching this and you're a husband or a father, grandfather, you're the guy. And you mama bears out there, I'm not leaving the ladies out. Some of the strongest women, strongest humans I have ever met have been determined mothers. They're not going to stop. They're not going to stop. And a lot of my women that I train push harder than my men, because they've got that part of them in their DNA that they have had children and they're responsible for the health and the well-being and the protection, hopefully along with a strong father, to protect them. Our goal as parents is to prepare our children to get out there and be good humans. It's to prepare them to leave. But along the way, we have to instill values and ethics into them. And part of those values and ethics is hard work and being the best person you can possibly be to withstand all of the hell on earth that comes at all of us every single day, or most of us anyway. So I took probably a year's worth of notes, because I'm always jotting shit down, making lists. I got lists everywhere. And I had one of those moments, and you've probably had them too, where this passion just kind of wells up in you. It swells and it builds. And I just poured out everything that I knew, everything that I felt. It was visceral. And I put it all down. And then I collated it. And I divided it into sections. All the elements of what it would take to be the strongest, most capable human being. Everything that I could possibly think of, everything in this data bank that has been collecting knowledge for 30 plus years. And the result of that is Iron 40. And the simple, but in my opinion, powerful tagline of the Iron 40 code is simply refuse decline. You don't accept declining in life. You refuse it. You fight it with everything that you have. And if anyone can tell you from personal experience of being in the trenches, working with real people every day, both in my gym and countless number of people online, is you can make, as I did, incredible progress, regardless of your age. You can build muscle. You can build aerobic capacity. You can strengthen your will, your fortitude. You can develop grit. You can learn and grow and become stronger. Every day that you make a decision to work hard and follow the proper path, you're at the minimum 1% better than you were the day before. And that builds over time. It's an investment. Sadly, sometimes when I offer this investment in their health and longevity and strength, many reject it saying, it'll take too long. That's just not me. I can't do that. How long is it going to take? But they'll sacrifice everything to build a business or be successful. Mothers, women especially, have a caretaker complex, an actual syndrome where they will give so much to others and leave nothing for themselves. And I try to remind them that if you take care of yourself first, then everything that you are as a stronger, more capable woman extends to those that you're caring for and providing for and loving. You become better, they become better. It's an extension. The investment is lifelong. It's something that you begin and you do not stop until God decides he no longer has purpose for you on this life anymore and you're off to the next one. But you have one life. And if you refuse decline, wake up and put everything into motion with everything that you have, what I can guarantee you is the work and the suffering and the stress, you're not going to regret any of it once the goals begin to become fulfilled. The effort, the pain, the sacrifice, those become the stories you tell, and stories that you tell with great pride and exuberance when you're explaining it to those who haven't taken steps to be the best human beings that they can be. It's an investment. I'm selling a 12-week program that I believe, if you're over the age of 40 years old, no matter how deconditioned you are, that if you take a measly 84 days out of your current life and apply it properly and give it everything you have, that short-term investment will yield dramatic, life-changing dividends. Some say, well, 12 weeks is too long. Well, if you think there are any overnight quick fixes, tell me where they are. What have you tried? Most people finally throw their hands in the air and give up because they followed so many of these wacky influencers, these zealot freak show people that promise everything and deliver nothing just so they can profit off of your failure and never see you again. If I told you to give me $1 today and in 1 year come back to me and I will hand you 1 million, would you say that's a good deal? That was a wise investment? Of course you would. You wouldn't complain about the length of time that it took to achieve that windfall. The same is with building your body. Your most powerful and most valuable asset that you have is you. Everything extends from your physical capacity, your mental strength, your fortitude. That's where it all lies. So that's why I'm doing what I'm doing now. And quite frankly, I'm more passionate about this than probably anything I've ever done in my life. I feel a great sense of pride in knowing that I can extend my knowledge from what I've done since the age of 40 until now and have no plans of stopping. In fact, I plan to train harder now than I ever have to try to make those 1% better everyday steps so that the day that I can no longer breathe oxygen on this earth and I'm ready to go on to the next life, well, I'll be leaving with no regrets. Lots of failures. I fail every day. I fail people every day. I fail myself every day. But I dust myself up, dust myself off, and I put everything back into motion. I have to have a goal. Well, I've created the goal. Refuse decline. Better every day. And when you do that and you emerge so much farther than you've ever been, perhaps ever, or you regain something that you haven't had in 40 years, the sense of joy, pride, and accomplishment is unlike anything you will ever experience. So that's why I developed the Iron 40 program. And I'm not making this video to sell you something. I'd love for you to make the investment and get involved and allow me to work with you, because I do have a passion for this. But if it's not me, then do something. Take those steps every day. Get into a gym. Start slow. Build yourself up. Reject shitty processed food. Eat single ingredient whole foods. Get outside and get some sun on your skin and fresh air in your lungs and walk. Focus on sleep and recovery. Focus on making a commitment to yourself every day. The human body is an amazing mechanism. When I'm holding my infant grandson, he is 100% dependent on those around him. Without the mother, the father, the grandparents, the circle of friends and people who are making a commitment to the growth and development of this precious baby boy, he wouldn't last long. No infant would. But by applying stress daily to the body responds with growth. And with growth becomes that precursor to everything becoming better. You navigate everything in life better when you're stronger and more capable. Muscle is the metabolic currency of life. And when you get over the age of 40, sarcopenia begins to occur. Now, sarcopenia is the fancy medical definition for the inevitable loss of muscle mass over time. You cannot stop it. It's inevitable. It's going to happen. However, you can slow that process dramatically. And yes, you can still build muscle when you're 50, 60, 70 years old. I witness it every day. I've got an 81-year-old client that will walk circles around people half his age, run circles around half his age. You can do, sounds cliche, but you truly can do whatever you set your mind in motion to do. And with that one decision and following a protocol with the rules set in motion, which are, don't miss. Don't miss. Just do it. And we track it. We monitor it. And we help and we assist, hand in hand, walking across the battlefield together. Anyone can do this. You just have to make the decision. You have to become fed up with your current situation and make the declaration to yourself and preferably your family or those closest to you that you are no longer accepting decline and you're going to make a stand and do whatever you have to do to become better. So again, sitting in my daughter's living room, surrounded by the people who are most precious to me, holding a 2.5-week-old baby boy. Well, I'm already in a good place. But in that moment, looking around that room, it hit me. You have to be your absolute best at all times because people depend on you. Who are you protecting? Who depends on you? Make that decision. And if you need help, I'm easy to find. I love you guys. I wish you nothing but the best. I just wanted to share this information with you. That's where my heart is. That's what I'm experiencing now. And it fills my heart with joy, knowing that I wake up every morning and I plant my feet firmly on the ground with nothing but purpose. But that purpose is the best purpose that I've ever had in my life. I won't slow down. And God forbid anybody who tries to mess with my family, because I will be capable enough to do what I have to do to make sure my loved ones are protected and cared for. And I hope you'll do the same. So until next time, thanks for supporting the channel. And I'm going to be back on here again real soon because I have so much more to tell you and so much more to share. But until then, you know the drill. I'm out.